the kids, the boss. Oh my goodness, remember that commercial? Well, if you can't escape from all the stressors of your life, we have a wonderful person that's going to talk to us today from the center, a Samaritan Center for your mental, emotional health. I'm Kimberly Warren. Hang on to your seat. We're in for a treat. Jennifer Rhoad, we are so glad you're here. Can I put my feet up and lean back now?
That's right.
This is great. So tell us, I know a lot about the center, a Samaritan Center, which used to be Samaritan Counseling Center.
That's right.
Please tell us, what does success look like? You know, you got a lot of people knocking at your door. So at the end of the day, what is the ultimate goal of this center?
Well, the center is there it's a place of healing for people that just might have some troubles in their lives, maybe some depression, some anxiety, some substance abuse problems, anger management problems, things like that. This is a place for healing. Our professional staff will give you the tools you need to make some changes in your life, maybe that need to be made, and some ways to deal with maybe those anxiety issues or those stressors that are in your life so that you can move forward.
How do you feel? You've been doing this for how long now?
I've been at the center, this is my 6th year
for
there.
6 years, and you're not a native here, but you've been here. How do you feel about the culture here? Are they embracing counseling and emotional health?
I think the environment for mental health is getting better all the time. I mean, of course, we see that there was a stigma about mental health. It was something that people really didn't want to talk about. But now people are getting better educated, and they know that there's nothing wrong with asking for a little help, and everyone needs somebody to talk to, somebody to turn to. If it's maybe a relationship problem, you just need somebody that's unbiased to hear about the situation and maybe offer some perspective about it. So there's nothing to be ashamed of, and so I think it's getting better all the time.
Right. In my opening address, I talked about the dog, the boss, the kids, the finances, schoolwork. A lot of people are overwhelmed with a plethora of information and stressors. Do we ever get to work on one thing at a time, one obstacle, one challenge?
I wish I could make some guarantees, but
Yes.
Unfortunately I can't. And it's so true. I mean, we are all the time, just more expectations are put on us to do this, to go there, to be everything for everyone. And so I think, a lot of people can just become overwhelmed. That's a great way to put it.
Right. What do you have to offer them, and what ages, and is it men, women that are utilizing your services, or all of the above?
Absolutely. We have a wide variety of services. So we have medication management on staff. We have psychological assessments to do those maybe behavioral assessments or ADHD assessments.
Wow.
And then we have counseling for individuals, for family, and then for faith-based counseling as well. And we start seeing kiddos at age 3, and we go all the way up to senior citizens.
This sounds like a one-stop shop for mental health and emotional wellness.
That's right. I mean, the center is really, we offer the broadest range of mental health treatments in the community. So
Now, you also have a nurse practitioner there?
that's right.
Okay.
We have a psychiatrist, our medical director, Dr. James Jura, and he works with 2 nurse practitioners, and they work together to prescribe medication for any mental health needs, like depression and anxiety, bipolar disorder, and things like that. One of our nurse practitioners, Laura Willoughby, actually sees children as well, so can prescribe that psychiatric medication for children as well, which is a huge need. I mean, there's a huge shortage of medication providers that specialize in that psychiatric treatment. So.
Tell us where you're located and how you work to ensure that everything's handled in a discreet manner.
We are actually located downtown at 902 Edmond, right behind the downtown post office. So our central location is really, in the heart of downtown, in the heart of the hurting, and we try to be at the center of things and meet you where you are and try to get you to where you need to go.
Can you put a face on who needs your services, or it's just everyone across a broad spectrum, or can you say this is who we're serving?
Well, I kind of think everyone would benefit from counseling.
Yes.
But I think if you are getting to a point where your everyday activities are interrupted because of some issue, then you probably need to be seeking counseling. if your anxiety, and we all get anxious. I mean, I get anxious about my kids and whether they're getting to where they need to go safely and things like that. But if you're getting to a point where that anxiety is so bad that you can't even open the mail because you're afraid of what's going to be in the mail, or you can't apply for a job because you're afraid you're going to mess something up or that you're going to be judged badly, then you probably need to get help for that, and that's probably a generalized anxiety disorder or something of that nature.
So if I'm hearing what you're saying, Jennifer, it is anyone that needs some coping strategies, problem-solving strategies. You don't have to have a mental health diagnosis or be on prescription medications to balance your emotional health. It's anyone that needs extra tips and strategies to focus on daily stressors.
Absolutely. In fact, not everyone would benefit from medications, but almost everyone will benefit from talking things through and getting some tips and some strategies to help you get to where you need to go. And I would say all of our professionals at the center would agree that the real work goes in the counseling sessions. So
wonderful.
Yeah.
We're going to put some information on the screens, and we'll come back for a few questions before we wrap up. Again, we want to thank Jennifer Rhoad for being here and representing the center, a Samaritan Center. It is located at 902 Edmond, Suite 203. That's 902 Edmond, Suite 203. And we're going to put the phone number on the screen. It's 816-364-4300. That's 364-4300. They also have a wonderful website. It is thecenterlistens.org. www.thecenterlistens.org. Is
That's
that all
right.
good? Okay.
Yes.
So let's talk about the cost, because there's always a dollar amount, and some people are like, I need this service. I just need to talk. I need someone to tell me I'm not crazy. I need someone to tell me where to go with all this pain, this anger, this stress.
Yes.
But I don't know if I have $50 or $150 a month. So how can you help them?
Well, actually, we accept all major insurances, and we accept Medicare and Medicaid as well. But we also offer financial assistance for those who don't have insurance, and then they would qualify on a federal scale. And so the best way to find out about that, it would just be to call our front office at our 364-4300 number. And have your information with you. If you have insurance or Medicaid, Medicare, just have that card with you when you call. Or if you don't have insurance, just have your pay stub information available, and they would be able to give you a good idea of how much it would cost.
That's awesome. But it sounds like you're not going to refer and send them several different places. If you bring in a kid and they need a screening, or they already have a diagnosis, you try to help everybody right there.
That's right. And that's really my favorite thing about working at the center are the professionals and how well they work together and how well they work with their clients as well. And, our professionals are very quality professionals, and they could work anywhere. But they choose to work at the center because they want to help everyone who needs help, not just those who can afford to pay for it. So they all have really big hearts, and they all work together as a team. And so if one of them is seeing someone and they think, well, this person would benefit from medication, let's just walk down the hall and our psychiatrist is here. Or maybe one family member wants counseling from a different counselor. Well, that's just right down the hall as well. So there's lots of resources there at the center, and they all work really well together.
Jennifer, can you take us into a typical day, what may happen there? And do you have group settings, individuals, entire families, or is it residential ever, or on site in the family's home? So people, I know they're watching and saying, I need this, I just don't know where to jump in, or if they're going to be able to have something specialized for me.
Yes.
So take us into a typical day.
Well, the center is a mental health outpatient clinic, and so individuals would come to us, and you can either choose to get individual therapy, or you can get family therapy or relationship therapy, or anything from that broad spectrum. We don't currently have groups. We've had groups in the past, nothing going on right now, but certainly if there was interest in a group, we could form one and get one going again. So a majority of people would come to us for maybe an anxiety problem or depression problem, substance abuse, maybe a trauma-related problem or a behavioral problem. And they would come for a med check is about 15 minutes with a psychiatrist. And then you have your counseling, which is what you more typically think of as the 45-minute to 1 hour session, where you talk about the things that are going on in your life and tips and strategies to improve those things or to manage those things in your day-to-day life.
How long are people in therapy? Is it a lifestyle, an ongoing thing, or is it a 30-day, put duct tape on it and it's fixed?
Well, there are some diagnoses that will need treatment for life, but a majority of people, no, they, 4, 7 visits. I mean, it's all customized to you and what you need, and they come to you where you are in your place in life, and try to determine what your goals are for the therapy and things like that. And so they'll have an individual, customized treatment plan for you, and you will actually, graduate from therapy one day. We turn out satisfied customers all the time.
That is wonderful. Jennifer, thank you so much for being here. I am going to put the information on the screen again. Jennifer Rhoad has been representing the center, a Samaritan Center located on 9th and Edmond, 902 Edmond, Suite 203. If you want to call before you go there, the number is 816-364-4300. That's 364-4300. They also have a wonderful website that will tell you about the services and all the benefits that they have for the individuals as well as children and families. And it is thecenterlistens.org. That's www.thecenterlistens.org. I'm Kimberly Warren from TBN Channel 16, and we want to thank you for watching, and thank you so much, Jennifer, for coming. And now we need to talk about my chocolate addiction. You have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching.
KTAJ TV 16 would like to encourage you to partner with TBN in collecting items for a local outreach ministry. The Grace House, located at 2638 Lafayette in St. Joseph, is accepting your gently used clothing and household items. All items can be dropped off at the Grace House Tuesdays from 7 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. and on Thursdays and Saturdays from 7 a.m. until noon. Please call 816-262-9401 for more information.
Hi, I'm Julie Clark, the station manager for KTAJ TV 16 in Kansas City, Missouri. Since 1986, Channel 16 has produced thousands of local spots and programs. Without our TBN partners, none of this would be possible. Some of our local productions have included Praise the Lord, music videos, children's programming, public affairs, Christian athletes, and many more. If you're not currently a TBN partner, please consider becoming one today. Just call the number on the screen to see how you can join us in becoming a part of this worldwide network.
You were never meant to carry the burdens you bear. You no longer have to live with guilt or shame. God is waiting for you, and He wants to set you free. Christ came to give you an abundant life. At the Holy Land Experience in Orlando, Florida, the power of God is transforming lives. Healings, baptisms of the Holy Spirit, salvations, and forgiveness are happening in record numbers. So come, receive your miracle. God is waiting for you.
I'm Mark Owen, and I'm the Platte County Sheriff. And today I'd like to give you a tip on not becoming a victim of crime. When you leave your valuables in the car and you don't remove them, you're making an opportune situation for a criminal to steal from your car. They'll break your window and cause damage, which will cost you untold hundreds of dollars. Please place them in your trunk or take them and place them securely in your home or residence. If you're a victim of crime or you observe a crime, please immediately call 911 and report the situation to your local law enforcement agency.
are going to talk with a special guest who is a novice to TBN Channel 16, but he is no novice to keeping our community and state safe. I'm Kimberly Warren. Hang on to your seat. You're in for a treat. You are watching TBN Channel 16, Joy in Our Town. Captain Eric Holland, welcome to the show.
Nice to meet you.
Well, it's your first time, but you're no novice with law enforcement, are you?
No, been doing it for a while.
Tell us a little bit about your stint. How long have you been the Platte County captain of the Sheriff Department?
I'm one of 5 captains that we have. I've been in my position since early in 2011.
Okay.
I've been in law enforcement about 14 years in total.
Wonderful. And you have an ambitious schedule or agenda. You're over how many residents?
Platte County has about 90,000 residents.
Incredible. Now, for a lot of people here in the St. Joseph area, Platte County is a pass-through going to Kansas City, and I know we have millions of viewers from Kansas City area, but what is going on in Platte County? Is it a rural community? Is it suburban? It's growing swiftly.
It is a growing county. We actually have a mix of different areas. When you look at the northern part of the county, Kansas City Airport sits in the middle. So if you kind of use that as your dividing line.
Okay.
North of Kansas City Airport, you have some cities, but it's predominantly rural. As you go south of Kansas City, it becomes more suburban and urban in nature.
So how is the community? Is it more like a small town feel, or do you have a lot of new people coming in? You have farmers and all of the above?
You know, Platte County covers about 420 square miles, so depending on where you're at in that county, kind of depends on how it feels. There's a lot of areas of the county that still have that kind of a small town feel where everybody knows each other, and then there are some areas that are more suburban and more diversified in population and who's been there for how many years. What
are some of the crime concerns? Today we're going to remind our viewers how to be on alert so they can prevent and intervene when necessary.
Platte County is no different than a lot of areas. Theft crimes are always a concern, such as burglaries with homes and breaking into cars. Cybercrime is kind of a new emerging area that law enforcement is dealing with, and that covers a wide gamut of areas. But you have a little bit of a mix of everything.
Now, we understand some crimes are just unavoidable. Do you think the majority of the crimes that you're fighting in Platte County are preventable, and if so, how?
You know, a lot of crimes are crimes of opportunity, and you can never 100% secure yourself from crime, but there are a lot of things people can do to help reduce the threat of crime to their particular home.
Can you give us some examples? I know there are a lot of people that are shopping online. We have packages and boxes coming, and around the holiday time, everybody's on guard and on alert and covering up their purses with coats or whatever. But year round, just on a daily basis, what are some of the things we can do, especially those that are making new purchases and throwing out their trash?
Well, when you make a new purchase, whether that's around the holidays or any point in the year, it's always a good idea to dispose of the boxes for those items somewhere other than your curb. For example, if you bought a brand new TV and you put that box out on the curb, it serves as kind of a sign to anybody who may not have the best of intentions that you now have a brand new TV in your house.
It's advertisement.
Exactly. So either breaking the box down and putting it into a bag.
Breaking down the boxes.
Or even taking it to, a lot of areas have local recycling dumpsters where people can put cardboard is a good way to dispose of them. So you're not advertising to folks who may be looking what you have in your house.
Now, your role with the Sheriff's Department, or what is the Sheriff's Department role in the community? I was driving last night and a sheriff's car got behind me. I don't think it was you. And I was wondering, could they give me a ticket? No, they just serve subpoenas. Oh no, they go out in the country and make sure. And I was really kind of confused. So I kindly got over, and whew, that was a close one. What is your role?
The Sheriff's Office has a lot of different roles in the county.
Okay.
We do regular patrol and traffic enforcement. So if you had been breaking the law, that deputy could write you a ticket.
Had I been breaking the law.
Right. The deputy could write you a ticket.
Okay.
We do process service as part of our job. We run the detention center for the county. So we control the jail, we secure the courthouse. We have an investigations unit who investigates a variety of crimes, everything from persons crimes, property crimes, narcotics. They have a cyber investigations unit who will look at computer crimes and internet crimes against children. So we have a very diversified agency that covers a wide gamut of responsibilities.
Speaking of, you mentioned, maybe substance abuse, drugs, narcotics. A few years ago, and I think even as recent as last year, Missouri was still leading with meth production and meth labs. Has that been an area of concern for Platte County?
We have had some meth labs and encountered meth on the streets. It's one of those drugs that has been around for a while and hasn't really gone away. And we train our officers to be cognizant of what the drug is, some of the reactions people can have on it, and how to spot it.
How large is the Sheriff's Department?
In total, we're about 125 personnel, but that includes some civilian support staff.
So talk to us a little bit about how neighbors can help make the community a safer place. Do you have neighborhood watch? Do you have concerned citizens that are involved in making sure that we have a better quality of life in Platte County?
We do. We have everything from different neighborhoods can have neighborhood watch programs that work with the sheriff's office. Our road patrol frequently will go to neighborhood meetings and talk with the citizens in those neighborhoods to kind of get a feel for the things that they're seeing, concerns that they have. And it goes all the way up to members of the community that will volunteer with the sheriff's office and go out and assist us in a variety of ways, everywhere from doing what we call civilian patrol, which is they kind of drive around, are an extra set of eyes for us, to helping us out in the office.
There was a very controversial neighborhood watch in Florida. Without getting into the details of that, what type of training, if someone is interested in being a part of civilian patrol or making sure that crime is not happening in their neighborhood or it's reported properly, what type of training do you provide citizens?
Well, if they become a member of the civilian patrol, we'll put them through a training program where they'll work with people who are already on civilian patrol. They'll work with deputies to kind of learn the skills that they'll use in that function, and that kind of depends on what area they're working in. The two big areas we have civilian volunteers in right now are with the actual civilian patrol unit, which works with our patrol deputies, and then with our emergency management group, who works with disaster recoveries and dealing with storms and natural disasters.
Okay, if you're just now tuning in to join our town, our very special guest has been Captain Eric Holland with the Platte County Sheriff's Department. If you would like to phone in and give them a call or visit their website to make sure your community and neighborhoods and businesses are safe, we're going to put the number on the screen always in case of an emergency. Call 911. But for the non-emergency numbers and just for citizen questions, you can call 816-858-3521. That's 816-858-3521. There's also a website. You can simply go to plattesheriff.org. That's pretty easy, www.plattesheriff.org. We were talking about neighborhood watch and keeping the community safe. Is it difficult if the residents don't get involved? How does that make your job a little bit more difficult in solving crime?
The more citizen interaction we can get, the better. We look at ourselves as partners with the community, and we try to do a very effective job of patrolling and keeping everybody safe, but we can't be everywhere at every given time. So when people see something that just doesn't look right, or they see something that they know is a crime going on, we always want people to give us a call. And we try to impress upon people, don't ever think that you're bothering us. If you see that car sitting down at the end of the street and it just doesn't look right, call us, we'll come out and see what's going on. We'd much rather come out and make sure nothing's going on than to have something go on and nobody say anything.
Right. If a citizen thinks they see someone who is maybe on the most wanted criminals list or is a fugitive, how do they go about reporting that information?
They can call the sheriff's office. Obviously, if there's an emergency, it's 911. The other number that you gave out, the 858-3521, is our communications center. So that line's answered 24 hours a day, and they can tell us the information they have.
Wonderful. What are your goals and objectives for the department for the future?
I mean, obviously, goal number one is to keep the community safe. And we work very hard to not just address the crime in Platte County, but to make Platte County a safe and great place to live.
Wonderful. For a young person that may be watching today, or even for an adult that's looking for another career opportunity, what do you have to say to them if they want to be on this side of the law and help enforce it and prevent crime?
You know, there are a lot of different opportunities in law enforcement as far as jobs. Some of them, like being a police officer or a sheriff's deputy, requires you to go through police academy and certain levels of training. There are other jobs, whether those are clerk positions or crime analyst positions or dispatchers, that work with law enforcement, are part of law enforcement, that don't require any pre-training before you get hired.
Do you mentor young adults, and do you have a training program?
We have a couple different ways that we try to mentor to folks. We have what's called school resource officers, which are 4 deputies that are assigned as their daily duties to schools throughout Platte County. Presently, we have them with the North Platte School District and the Park Hill School District.
And that's all a part of your county area. I
Right.
didn't realize that.
And they'll interact with the students on a daily basis, kind of talk to them about issues they're having in the schools. They'll even, I know Park Hill will have them come in and teach classes from time to time to kind of inform our young citizens as far on kind of the rules of the road and different laws.
Wonderful. Again, we're going to put the information on the screen, and we want to thank Captain Holland for being our special guest today. If you would like to call him or someone on their staff and ask them anything of a non-emergency nature, the number is 816-858-3521. That's 816-858-3521. The website is www.plattesheriff.org. That's plattesheriff.org. We want to thank you so much for being here, Captain Holland.
No problem.
And we want to thank each of you for watching TBN Channel 16, Joy in Our Town. I'm Kimberly Warren. Be safe and be well.
This program has been sponsored by the Trinity Broadcasting Network and made possible by your telephone dollars. Your continual support can keep Joy in Our Town brought to your home every day. So write Joy in Our Town, P.O. Box A, Santa Ana, California, 92711.